Hello students, welcome to Sosin IS Academy. My name is Srikanth, History Option Faculty in Academy. Today we are going to discuss about how the Indian culture is so much associated with the nature worship and especially worshipping of plants and animals. From the time of immemorial, Indians known for the worshipping of nature and especially worshipping plant and animals as well. For example, you take the first civilization of India, one of the early civilization of the world, that is the Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization people, which is popularly called, of course, IVC civilization. So, Indus Valley civilization, which is dated back to 2500 BC to 1500 BC. So, Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan civilization, which is also known as Bronze Age civilization, as bronze for the first time used by these people only in Indian subcontinent. And it is the first urbanization in India. So, coming to the topic, the Indus Valley civilization people also worshippers of nature. They worshippers of nature and especially plants and animals they worship a lot. Plants and animals. There is clear-cut evidence from the Indus Valley civilization people where the findings are clearly shown that they worshipped snake, tree, doe and bull. These are the things which are actually worshipped by the Indus Valley civilization people. Along with the nature, they particularly worshipped the snake, tree, doe, bull. Worship is the very prominent in the Indus Valley civilization. And next thing is, in Mohenjo-daro, there is a seal called Pashupati Mahadeva seal. There is a seal called, Mohenjo-daro, which is one of the largest site of Indus Valley civilization and it is the first UNESCO World Heritage Site of IVC, which is located in Pakistan. Of course, which is part of Indian subcontinent. I'm talking about ancient India, which is actually spread about 500 hectares. So this Mohenjo-daro is very much famous for the witnessing the founding of Pashupati Mahadeva seal. Pashupati Mahadeva seal was excavated in Mohenjo-daro. This Pashupati Mahadeva seal is clearly shown that the animals of this Pashupati Mahadeva seal, which is excavated in Mohenjo-daro, shown the animals of elephant, tiger, buffalo, rhinoceros, antelopes. So these are the things actually worshipped by the Indus Valley civilization people. Pashupati Mahadeva itself is actually the prominent god of Indus Valley civilization people. In that Pashupati Mahadeva seal, which is excavated in Mohenjo-daro, consisting the animals, that Pashupati Mahadeva is actually surrounded by these animals. Right side elephant tiger and the left side of the Pashupati Mahadeva, buffalo, rhinoceros were actually present. And the Pashupati Mahadeva is actually surrounded by the antelopes. And the complete Pashupati Mahadeva is worshipped very much the prominent god of Indus Valley civilization people. So point here is, our culture and our civilization from the time of immemorial is very much inextricably linked to the worshipping of nature, especially plants and animals. So this first civilization of India, Indian subcontinent, is very much shown the evidence of worshipping of plants as well as animals. And next thing is, the legacy is even continued afterwards and even now as well. For example, you take the next civilization of India which is witnessed is Aryan civilization. Aryan civilization, which is also known as Vedic civilization. This is the second civilization of India, but of course it is not the second urbanization. It is the second civilization of India, where in this civilization also there is clear-cut reference with the historical sources, with the literary sources, that the Aryans were the worshippers of natural forces. The Aryans were especially in the early Vedic period, the Aryans are completely worshippers of the natural forces. There are almost 33 gods were mentioned. There are almost 33 gods as well as the goddesses were mentioned in the Vedic literature. All the 33 gods and goddesses are believed to be the natural forces only. And very interestingly, even personification of the natural forces is given. Personification. And next thing is, even gender is given as well as the divinity is also given. Personification of the nation. They worship the natural forces. And personification is also given and gender is also given. Where the masculine gender given to the aggressive forces. Where the masculine gender given to the aggressive forces and feminine gender given to the beauty, peace, patience. Okay, so they worshipped all natural, the 33 goddess and goddesses are includes only natural forces, and for these natural forces personification is given, even gender is also given, where the masculine gender given to the aggressive forces, whereas for the beauty, peace and patience given the feminine gender, but all were the natural forces only. For example, you take how the nature is worshipped in the Indus Valley, Aryan civilization, the major worship, the aggressive forces includes, the very prominently, for example, you take Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna. Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, Twastri, and next one is Marut. All these things, they are all actually what? The male gods. They are all only gods. So, Indra is actually worshipped for the victories in the war by the Aryan civilization people. So, early Aryans worshipped the Indra for the victories in the war. He is also known as Purandara. And they worshipped Agni, they worshipped Vayu, wind god, Varuna, water god, Twastri, volcano god, Marut, god of thunderbolt. They are all aggressive forces. Hence, they given the masculine gender. Okay, so they worshipped these things. That is the point. The water worshipped, Vayu, wind is worshipped. Fire is worshipped, which is part of it. Twastri, that is volcano is worshipped. Even the thunderbolt is also worshipped. These are all actually natural forces. So, nature worship is actually part of Indian culture. That is our, actually, the ancient most legacy which are even continuing now. Even for the, if you say, I told about the beauty, peace, patience were actually given to the feminine gender. For example, you take Aranyayini. She is actually what? Goddess of forest. Aranya means what? The Sanskrit word Aranya means forest. Aranyayini means what? Goddess of forest. And next thing is, for example, you take even Aditi, goddess of earth. Goddess of earth. For example, you take Usha, goddess of dawn. Usha, that is goddess of dawn. For example, you take Savitri, is nothing but goddess of light. So, this is what? So, forest very much known for the beauty, the diversity. Hence, the feminine gender is given. They are all actually what? Goddesses. They are actually goddesses. Okay, so forest known for the beauty, earth known for the patience, and goddess of the nature. So, that is what? For the beauty, peace, patience, they given the feminine gender. For the aggressive forces, they given the masculine gender. So, point here is, the both our ancient most culture civilizations are actually the worshipped the natural forces, especially plants and animals. And the thing is, the legacy is even continuing now. So, that is what our, worshipping nature is the part of Indian culture. Okay, that is even continuing now. Okay, thank you.